What it do, YouTube? Guys, finally here to introduce you to the Consistency Over Perfection series. I mean, I promised to do a lot more on YouTube, guys, so I'm finally doing it. So, I mean, the number one reason, as always, is for my clients, because I find that they learn a lot from me just talking and doing my day-to-day. So they learn a lot more from just the one-to-one we actually normally have. The second reason is because I appreciate not everyone can pay me for my services, because when people say can they pick up my brain and ask me questions and so on, that is how I make a living. So however, you can subscribe to the channel and actually just watch this, because I will try and, you know, educate you as much as possible with the training, with the nutrition. Probably would have seen the full day of eating before this video, so that would have covered a bit more nutrition. Today we got a training session down at Genesis, which is my so-called new local gym since I moved up here in the northwest of London. And hopefully a bigger session. To be honest, it's not one of my fun ones. So this session is kind of like what I call a bit of a miscellaneous session, because it's kind of like all my weak points put into one, just trying to get enough frequency into these body parts. But anyways, let's get training. Alright guys, just warming up with some crucifix lateral raises. Key thing here is, remember guys, we're not really doing kind of like typical lateral raise here. We are trying to do an adduction of the shoulders, so we're coming from here, coming up and out. So I always say, think about doing a Y or hallelujah kind of thing. In regards to the setup, I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, but real quick, I'll just recommend the bench. You move it a little bit further back than normal, so you don't want it in line with the cables. In regards to the height of where you stack the cable, you want it literally about that knee height from when you're sitting down from there, so that again it's not like you're going too low, you're going to be in the right position when you're doing your adducting of the shoulders. I like to start with this because we're going to go into a pressing movement, my main pressing movement for shoulders, and I feel like working on isolating the shoulders with some laterals or crucifix is going to help me just again be warmed up and ready to go for those big presses. As always, I still love this. This is not just a warm-up. This is quite important because shoulders are a weak point for me. So, you know, pretty much trying to progress things, not about just the load and the reps, but mainly the form is going to be key for me. You know, perfecting the technique and the form on this, and really making sure that I'm focusing on not using my hands to work the shoulders here is quite key, because that's something a lot of people get wrong when they're doing their laterals or even things like this crucifix right here, is they really are pushing out with the hands, whereas you need to try and forget about the elbow down and really focus on from the elbow up, from there adducting away from you. All right, so even with a normal lateral, people are thinking about raising up and back down, and usually the hands are there and back down. But what we want to do is actually push away from the body, adduct away from the body, from elbows to here, push away and back down. Hence why we use the cuffs, and that's pretty much it. I'm just going to get going. So that was not too bad, 13 reps, a couple short from last week, but forgot to mention as well, we are nearly week 11 now into this calorie deficit. So yeah, currently on this prep, definitely feeling a lot lighter, especially this week, because a lot has come up this week. Start of prep, I started at 102.7 or 102.3 kg. I'm now down to 91.5, so the first 10 kg has come off, and this is usually the time when I really start to feel that difference in regards to strength-wise, thinking that mentally I have to really switch on for every set here. But I'm not disappointed with that. That's not bad. Main thing is we're trying to retain as much here as well. I will be able to push on certain things. Other things I'll go into in another video, because, for example, hopefully we can get Aiden down for my usual pull day, which involves deadlifts, which I've had to take out now because that's becoming too taxing in regards for me to recover from and continue this calorie deficit and try and stay injury free and so on. So I'll go into more depth on that one there, but for this day in particular, that I should be able to still be able to push on and actually be able to progress on some of these numbers. As long as the form and technique is there though, otherwise it doesn't count. As my clients know, the foundation is not there. Whatever you should think you progressed on, that hasn't really done anything. So I got 19 to beat on this next set. Should be interesting. Definitely probably need to get the headphones in for this one though. Getting that right mindset. Got 20. Happy with that. 15-second rest, and I'm going to go straight to just to have a nice little bit of a pump now. Dropping the weight as well. Again, you don't need too much weight for this kind of movement. It's not all about crazy heavy weight. Forms out there, especially for this kind of drop. I'm just trying to get a bit more blood into it, that's all really. Just in case people think I'm just making this up, this is why we have the logbook, can't lie. Got the, last time we had the 10, 4, 19, so we got it 20. Back off 15, 11, we got it for 13 there. So, gotta stay true to yourself, guys. You gotta stay true to yourself. I think that's the main thing about, you know, with everybody talks about with training. How do I get the best results? How do I get quicker results and everything? Are you really tracking your progress? And are you actually being true to yourself as well? Like I said, if the foundation, which is your form and technique, execution of the exercise, is not already where it needs to be, it's not at a standard that you can actually progress from, then when you start writing down numbers and making up stuff as well, not even logging it and saying to yourself, I think I did 15 last week, that kind of stuff, it really doesn't help, you know. If you want that precision training to get quicker results, you've got to actually do the work for it. Again, bear in mind, guys, not everyone has to do this. This is if you really are serious about transforming your physique, you know, at a quicker rate as well. You know, physique development, if that's your thing, then these are the kind of things you need to do. But yeah, I guess with me as well, I'm not gonna lie, I actually just hate lying as a Christian as well, so it kind of helps me in the fact that I'm not gonna lie to myself, and it helps me push as well. Okay, we've got a pressing movement coming up now. Just gonna sort this out. Honestly, when I first saw this machine, I was a little bit worried because it looks so ancient, but it is perfect for me because old rugby injuries, rotator cuffs, when it comes to pressing movements, I need something that's really going to feel like stable and secure for me. Hence why I don't really do much dumbbell, barbell work. I just can't. I don't feel stable at all to be able to really progress that. This has been a beauty. First time I used it, someone actually left the plate on here. So this is not actually a case of me thinking I've finished, I'm doing the stack here. I've not progressed that far. It's just that I started doing it with that on, and then when I realized, I was like, oh gosh, I need to start logging that now. So yeah, this is not some ego thing here. I'm actually not stacking the whole weight yet. Okay, just so you know, guys. All right, let's just get warm-ups in. So I've only done one warm-up on here. That's because with all the work I was doing with the crucifix, shoulders are pretty much good to go. Bit different for this one here. I got two main sets, a top set and a back off set. I like to prefer to start with a back off set here, simply because just something mentally, I feel like I need to do the higher rep range first before doing that lower rep range. Again, maybe it's just because of the injury and so on, but yeah, I feel like getting the higher reps in really makes sure that I am actually stable in doing this, and I just feel like, yeah, I can really push on for that heavier weight in that top set. 12 to 15 rep range, 13 last time, so that's the minimum, and hopefully we can get 14. That's how it has to go, basically. And this is how it constantly goes until when I'm doing 15, possibly 16, then I move up the weight. Intra workout, guys. Mentioned this in the full day of eating, so I'm not going to go too much into this, but just simply carbs and EAAs. Yeah. No need to shout out brands, I'm not sponsored, so whatever. So far, guys, Aiden's doing the magic. It's another progression there, one rep up. Probably need to watch that back though. I think I may have cheated one of those reps, but I think it's good. But yeah, I guess the whole camera and everything, making sure I actually have to do what needs to be done there. So There, but I'll take that. Now for the top set coming up. Definitely gonna need a bit more rest for this. Real quick, rest between sets. There is no set time, guys, unless you really have like a different kind of agenda or goal in regards to, for example, let's say I'm preparing to try and build my stamina, trying to build my muscle endurance, then I probably want shorter rest periods, because that is another way of progressing, by the way. You know, by doing your sets in a short period of time, that means that you are improving your cardiovascular there and your your stamina and capacity to keep your energy levels high and do the sets. However, your weight progression and with the load and the reps is probably not going to be that great. That's not my goal. Physique is my goal in regards to developing it. So especially for movements that are big movements for me, a pressing movement, I want to be recovered enough so I can go again. Simple as. So this rest could take between 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever I feel like is ready there. But let's say my goal, like I said, was to improve my stamina and so on. I will time my rest periods and try and improve that. Machine's so old, I have to sometimes count to make sure I put it in the right place. Otherwise, I wouldn't know how much the weight is. 6 is what we did last time. We actually moved up in weight last week. So it was nice to get 6 because the rep range is 6 to 9. And now, of course, we need to like solidify that jump up in the weight now. Was last week a fluke? Did I maybe cheat a few reps? All that kind of stuff. So again, just trying to be as humble as possible when it comes to actually progressing the load and the reps. One quick thing as well, I've had a client say when they watched me on my IG doing a training, filming one of my sets. Actually, no, it wasn't IG. It was the last video I was in with Brandon, with Aiden filming as well. The client said I'm an angry lifter. I am not an angry lifter. I think, if anything, I am a more calm and precise lifter. I remember back in the days, I used to be a bit more like tense up here. And it's one thing I learned, which is try and relax here to here and let the body do the work. Because the amount of times I see people straining up here and looking about the burst of, you know, a blood vessel or something, you're probably missing out on your form and also probably some reps, because it takes a lot out of you to actually be tensed that much up there and everything. So I try to relax the face a bit more and just focus on letting the body do the work. So yeah, not an angry lifter, definitely not. Got a bit greedy there. We got 7, but as you can see, I tried to go for that 8. I kind of knew I shouldn't have, but either way, it's not like I forced anything too much there. It's all good sometimes to have that. You can go for it, you know. But no, happy with that 7. Now we move on to another weak point of mine, which is triceps. So a bit of arms now coming up. But before first, I'm going to finish off with some rear delts on the bench. Say too much on this one, but rear delts, I guess you can call it prone rear delt fly, so to say. But again, with all similar to working the lateral raise in regards to the medial delts. With the rear delts, we want to make sure we're not again leaning out with the hands, elbows, push out, and then trying to get a nice little contraction at the top as well while controlling it on the negative. Yeah. But yeah, not much to say on this one. This is just for me getting a bit more into my rear delts here, because again, from a physique point of view, I want to develop as much as all 3 heads of your delts, just to give that illusion of a round delt. Not too much rest between this one, because again, it's not too taxing. Usually around a minute, and I'm good to go for the next set. 150 kg, nice little bit of rust there. I don't think anyone's touched that. I don't think anyone has. Okay guys, we're just setting up for, it's called a JM press. It literally is like a hybrid between a close grip bench, slash kind of like skull crusher. It's literally a hybrid between the two. I started using these because, again, elbow joint injuries from rugby. This seems to fit quite nicely and getting a good stretch when I come down. So stretching out the, lengthening the tricep, and then obviously when we go up, we shorten it and we really get that contraction. But it's more for that stretch. I get a bit more out of there because, as you can see, long limbs. Aiden has to back up there to get me in there. Yeah, long limb problems. So yeah, any of you guys who are like me, got the long limbs, hopefully you can learn a few things out of here in regards to like different exercises that might actually suit you and actually how you perform the movement as well. Because range of motion is relative to the individual. Your biomechanics do play a part, guys. I mean, I say this so many times. For example, my shin bone length. I've got the shin bone length of someone who's 6'2". I'm actually only 6 foot. All right. I've got a short torso, but then my limbs are just like that. So all this plays a factor. Those of you who are old enough, we've got Funky House playing today. I'm not mad at that. Sometimes the DJing in here is terrible, but Funky House, yeah, absolutely love those times. I wish it lasted longer. I felt like it was just a brief 1.5 years, 2 years. I wish it lasted longer. So many good times. But we've got the top set coming up now, guys. I need to switch up the music, get back in the zone. Music, by the way, preference, guys. You'd be surprised. I probably have more gospel in my playlist. I guess it's just what I listen to most. I still have the occasional Lloyd Banks or whatever, just anything that gets me a bit amped. But one thing here on the top set, my main 2 working sets are doing a little bit different. As in, we're using the same weight. It's not a top and back off. But what we're doing though is with the first set, there's a 3-second pause in the hold. So remember I was talking about how I can get it fully lengthened in that stretch position for the triceps. I'm actually even then taking full advantage of that and having a 3-second hold there and then pressing up. So that first set is going to be more taxing because I got that 3 seconds and then drive and control it back down again, 3 seconds hold and drive. 6 reps last week, so that's what we're going to try and beat. And then also with the second set, my second working set, it's the same weight, but no more 3-second hold. I'm just trying to move that weight now. So again, with control and everything, but just seeing how many reps I can get out of that. But first off, we've got to get 6 or more. This is, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not that 100% confident, but I love that because this is the kind of stuff that, when it scares you a bit, you got to really step up and get it done, because otherwise these noodle arms will never grow. Asian does it again. 1 up again, guys. 1 up again. Not bad. But now we're just moving the weight, no 3-second pause. It's about doing the minimum, matching what I did with 3-second pause, which is 7. But we should be able to get more here because we are kind of like doing a bit less in regards to really taxing the muscle there. So we're just trying to get that blood flow pumped into there now to finish off on triceps before we move to a bit of back and calves. We laugh because, for those of you who follow me, we all know. Yeah, we'll get onto that later. Not bad, not bad. Now moving on to some back work. On my main back focus day, my pull day, I do a lot more of your rows, a lot more of the back thickness, so to say. Today's more about detail and a bit more on width as well. So I'm going to do a bit of a pullover. We've got a lovely machine here. Although Aiden's about to find out, it could definitely do with some WMD oil, whatever you call it, whatever you call that, the word, but you know what I mean. That's it, 40, whatever. But yeah, it could do a bit of that. The screeching. I definitely need the headphones for this one. Get into it. And then we're gonna do some pull-ups as well. Just a bit of, again, trying to get a bit of that width to and detail to the back. Just a good bit of pump in there. As I'm getting lighter, pull-ups are getting easier. I am lighter. So there's no excuse not to keep it in there. It's not something like a big compound movement that's probably gonna injure my joints or anything. That's definitely not gonna happen. On this one, we're trying to beat 11 reps. It's all about having that control and that stretch. And as we drive down, try not to let our back come off the pad there. Ideally, we want the seat belt on. However, it's not been fixed since I've been here, so we're just trying to make do and trying to secure ourselves, keeping our hips down, keeping our back down there as well as we're driving through. I like to go underarm grip, helps me with that control. You can go overarm, but I feel with the underarm I can get a bit more control in my pullovers. 11, not bad. The reason why I love a pullover movement, someone who's obviously trying to build a certain physique, a certain look, one of the poses in your front relaxed, you want to be able to have that lats flaring, especially for someone like me who doesn't have a genetically small waist. It's important to try and build the illusion of a smaller waist with the lats flaring out there. So that front relax is what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this movement here. Trying to make that as impressive as possible. And obviously, again, the other reason why I do the underhand grip is because I can keep my elbow tight in towards my body. And as those of you know, trying to activate the lats, you want to keep the elbow and triceps as close to the body as much as possible. So when you're doing your rows as well, you know, I still see a lot of people doing that. You're missing out if you don't tuck it in and really get it as close to the lat as possible. And with the underarm grip, like I said, it helps me do that here. Whereas the overhand, I'm probably going to be out here. I'm probably missing out a bit more. We've got one more set. Definitely need a few breaths on this one. Pull-ups to come now. I'm definitely not someone who's doing 20 pull-ups, just so you guys know. We're probably aiming for around 10 per set. And I will be setting these with calves. I don't have the best calves out there, most definitely not. I can tell you this though. It's taken me a lot of years to understand a good technique, a range of motion for me. Like I said, I got crazy long shins, shin bones, long femur. You know, there's a lot of theories out there in regards to calves, and I've tried them all. To be honest, the most development I have gotten has just simply been me understanding and remembering you need to keep everything from your ankles, knees, and hips in line. So what do I mean by that? For me, I lose a lot of connection if I start bending my knee a bit when doing the calves, on the seat, on the raises, and so on. It needs to really stay in line for me. I can't be doing this. I need to actually keep the knee still in line with the ankle and the hip to get the most out of it for me. Aside from that, it's not about blaming genetics. We all have somewhere we need to start. Definitely on my part, I spent too many years doing it wrong. That's all I can say. So that's a tip I can give you on calves. So let's start with pull-ups.
Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Hit I bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going on track, now we going.
I was saying earlier, the tendency for me is, especially as it starts to get harder, I start bending the knees, trying to get a bit more out of it. But like I said, I'm just losing more connection with the actual calves there by doing that. So I might be able to get a bit more, get a few more reps, but it's not worth it because I'm not actually hitting the muscle as much as I want to be. I want to be on target as much as possible. So yeah, it's taken a long time to realize that. But hey, we don't get everything right for the first time. Plus, we're not all able to get away with little things like that. You know, sometimes certain people, they can get away with stuff like that and still develop their calves. I can't.
Get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book this.
Sit. Done. See how we're looking. What was it? We're at 91.3 today. So, like I said, the first 10 kgs come up. See how we're looking today currently. I'm only going to do top up. Next video you can see how lower body's looking as well. So you can see, still got a bit to come up. But we're getting there. Relatively lean. I'll probably say, guessing, another 5 kg to come up. That's probably max 5 there, but a lot better from the front, the back. A lot more to come up there, but we'll see how we're looking. 3 weeks time, I think we'll do the next video. Hopefully the exercise will be a bit more fun as well. But guys, don't forget, like, comment as well guys, whatever you want to comment about, questions, what you want to see more of. Had a full day of eating, you've had a training session, we've got more to come. We've got the GB14, which is the photo shoot, Getting Burn Fitness photo shoot coming up as well guys, for my clients. We're going to film that, and yeah. Like I said, fun summer coming up ahead, exciting stuff. Hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe as well, guys. You've been asking for this. You better subscribe.